Welcome into the CHGO White Sox podcast. We are continuing to hand out report cards to our favorite White Sox. They're all our favorite. Don't tell Owen White. Anyways, we're going to be grading Kyle, Teel, and Edgar Quero today on the CHGO White Sox podcast. Welcome into the CHGO White Sox podcast, presented to you by our hopes and dreams. Coming to you live from Studio B, our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. Joey, can you flash that intro video again? Just real quick. Just let's see that thumbnail, okay? Yeah, ALLCITY, hi, Network CHGO. There's the podcast. There's Kyle, Teel, and Edgar Quero. But what is that in the background? I see that. Was that on purpose? Did you mean to leave Andrew Vaughn in the background? What are you doing here? What do you think? You think you're funny?
I thought at first it was going to be an Easter egg. There were other ones too as well. You had that, or Adam Engel was the other choice.
Ooh, that would have been great.
Would you have appreciated that one a little bit
Adam
more?
Engel.
And Brooks Baldwin was the other one too as well.
Oh, Brooks is my guy. Oh, come on. That's Joey Christopoulos. Not my guy. Not my guy. After that
anti-guy
attack. That's my producer. Excited to be here for the next 45 minutes. Thank you to Chris N. saying thanks for all the great content. Exciting offseason to build the future. Absolutely. Just had a chat with Elijah Evans, who's been on this show today for Future Sox. Hasn't aired yet, but we talked for 47 minutes. And that's the thing, is we were supposed to talk about a half hour. Then we went 17 minutes over. The conversation ended, and we're like, man, we could just keep talking. We just scratched the surface of pitchers. We talked enough about, maybe the core of the 2026 team, and it was mostly just talk about 2027, 2028, and 2029 otherwise. So, it's an exciting time because anything can happen. Maybe not signing Kyle Tucker. Maybe not signing Shohei Ohtani. Maybe not signing Garrett Crochet, but anything else could happen. And hey, maybe Justin Ishbia takes over as the owner and all of that changes. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Edward in the chat saying, does it really matter?
Yes.
I was going to say no. No, it doesn't.
It
there's
matters.
Actually a lot more important things in the world going on, weirdly enough. And we're going to take a brief abrupt left turn into some serious talk here because we are closing in on the holiday season. Obviously, at the end of November, there is Thanksgiving, and then in December, there is Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, etc. Boxing Day as well for our Canadians. And we are very excited to be a part of the All Sports Scenes led initiative, and it's backed by several other White Sox podcast, news articles, entertainment places, the 108, CHGO, Sox on 35th, Southside Sox, Sox Machine, Southside Behavior, Chicago Sports Bum, Herb. Our guy Herb is just in there hanging out by himself. I wish he was here. Aaron Fitzmagic, and then Sadistic Penwing. All of those great people are supporting this Southside food drive. $1 equals 3 meals. They set a goal of $2,500, and they are currently at $3,210. This started yesterday. Their goal has not only been met, it has been surpassed, and we are looking right now at a goal of $3,500. We've raised $3,210. This is a fantastic, fantastic initiative to give to right now. Not to get too political, but there is a lot of food insecurity currently going on with the government shutdown. And not only that, but you are supporting people that are in your community. You are giving food to people in your community. 1 out of 5 Chicago households face food insecurity, and 1 in 4 households with children are experiencing food insecurity. We are very excited to be a part of this, and hopefully we can just secure a healthy, happy, warm, well-fed holiday for all of those people in Chicago, because not only is the government being shut down, the government is currently messing with Chicagoans, and there's a lot of people that are afraid and scared And if you could help out with maybe providing a meal for a family, again, $1 equals 3 meals because of the Greater Chicago Food Depository. That is where this is taking place through the Greater Chicago Food Depository food drives. We have currently raised $3,210. The goal is $300 or $3,500. This is going until the end of November. So don't stop now, boys and girls. Don't stop now, okay?
Put a crooked number up on the board.
That's maybe what we'll say. Yeah, let's put 5 digits up there, right? I know no one at CHGO has donated yet. This is the first time we're promoting it. I think we're going to promote it about 13 more times. We have 13 more shows for the end of October and then into November. I really hope we see a crooked number because this is a fantastic thing to give to. If we can guarantee people meals, nothing is greater than that. I mean, obviously a White Sox World Series ring is fun, but 2005 was nice enough. If we know people can have a nice warm holiday, I think that'd be a lot greater than a World Series ring, even though it's flashy and nice. Even though the Camaro and Ferrari are nice, let's give some people some more meals. So yeah, $1 equals 3 meals. Feel free to scan that code, or we also have the link in the description on YouTube and on the podcast links. So feel free to click that link and support this CHGO Sox news article sources, content creators, food drive. Thank you. Thank you to All Sports Scene for putting this together. Celeste over there did a fantastic job. So great job to her. I think it was her brainchild. So fantastic idea to do this holiday. That's not why you called. Very important, though. Let's get into the fake report cards, because that's obviously what we need to be talking about here. We do have some chat as well. Ashley saying, wait, are you saying 2026 isn't going to be oops, all catchers? I'd keep them both. The headline is more of a discussion. Joey, I think the link isn't in the YouTube description. We'll put the link in the YouTube description. It'll be there in a second. It's in Slack. I'm not currently saying they need to trade. It's that GoFundMe Pro. I'm not saying they need to trade Quero or Teel. I think they may be getting to a point where it's not the worst conversation to have. The idea is, along what TS just said, keep both and trade Corey Lee. Maybe he can get help a big league team. You have to trade one of the three. And while teams are still using 2 catchers, I think a little bit more, having more of a balance, less like a Cal Raleigh situation where you have a guy catching 162, right? I think, though, Corey Lee is a good enough suffice backup to catch those 60 games that you want to give your catcher, your number one catcher, those days off on. And I think that Teal's biggest issue right now is framing. If the ABS system comes around, it'll be less about framing and just more pitchers throwing strikes. He's got a really good pop time. He's good at blocking the ball. He's decent at blocking the ball. Decent at catching runner stealing. It's that link right there in the chat. If you really do run into a situation where this team doesn't have a corner position, they don't have a third base for the future, they don't have a first base for the future, they don't really have a center fielder for the future, they don't really have a left fielder for the future. Braden seems to be their right fielder of the future. Colson, hopefully, will be the shortstop of the future. Bonnermer, Mydroth, Carlson might be your second baseman of the future, but none of those guys, maybe Bonnermer, really profile to a corner bat. So if you could trade Quero, a position of great need, catcher, for a guy that could be your corner third baseman, I don't think it's the worst conversation to be had. I'm not standing here saying, let's trade Edgar Quero, pounding on the table, we need to trade Quero. But I do think that if you're not going to make Teel play left field or first base, and you're just going to have them be catcher and DH only, that's going to run out real quickly when Quero, if he is supposed to produce like he is, and Teal's producing like they are, 2 war-ish catchers, they're going to be wanted to get paid like 2 war catchers. Where Corey Lee is a backup. Corey Lee will get paid backup money. Quero, I think, at some point will want starter money. Teel, I think, will want starter money. At some point, the inevitable of the White Sox needing to be budget conscious, not needing, but having a strong desire to, I think will limit your ability to have both of these catchers on the roster unless one of them plays a different position. I would love for Quero and Teel to be on the team long term. It's not about the players that they are or aren't. It's just about the fact that they're both two catchers. It could be all catchers. Maybe Kyle Teel plays left field. We saw Corey Lee in left field. Maybe he becomes a left fielder, but I don't think come 2027, 2028, we're going to see both of these catchers on the roster. Even then, if you can get like a lefty with some good stuff as a starter, you wouldn't trade Edgar Quero? I think Quero has proven himself to be more of a big leaguer than, let's say, Chase Meidroth, who we just gave grades to. But he has a similar issue that Meidroth has where he doesn't really impact the ball that much. He is very young. I think the youngest catcher in Major League Baseball. There's a lot to grow for Edgar Quero, but he's tiny. He's not that big. And his profile is flat bat, let's make contact, let's try to hit singles to the other side, and he does that very well. But will there be true pop from Edgar Quero? The pop's there from Kyle Teel. I just think it would be worthwhile to have this discussion, especially with ABS. I think Kyle Teel's defensive flaws can be hidden, where Quero, I think a lot has to go right with his future progression. I think that if you have a gluttony at this position, I think it's worthwhile to maybe expand that glut. You know, let's trickle over the wealth to third base.
Loosen up the belt. Extend that glut.
How is that what you're saying?
Bigger glut.
Not only extend Kyle Teel, but extend Edgar Quero.
No,
because we are on the extend Kyle Teel train.
No,
you're not saying extend both of them. Let's just have catchers forever.
And if that train's also the hope train, I'm 100% buying a ticket to the Kyle Teel hope train. Where Edgar Quero, I think, is a nice player. But yeah, if he profiles or if he slides himself more into like that Victor Carantini kind of maybe more of a bat first, but doesn't give you a lot of power backup type catcher, there's nothing wrong with that. And you can have a pretty decent 6, 8, 9 year career in Major League Baseball doing that.
And I brought up
I don't know if you're building a team around that.
Right. And I brought up the past issue the Jays just came into where they had Danny Jansen and Alejandro Kirk, both starting catchers in Major League Baseball. They just had to move on from Jansen because of his contract at some point. Like at some point, Danny Jansen doesn't want to be splitting half of his time as a catcher with Alejandro Kirk. He wants to try to make starter money. I think Quero is decent enough to where he might want to make starter money. Where, Corey Lee, maybe he wants to make starter money, but, Corey Lee had 5 hits in 2023. Let's be honest, or 2024. I don't know. Fat Hipster says, I wouldn't trade either. I'm okay with moving Teel to the outfield. Can you move over? Slurp, I think he says part-time. As long as he still caught a few games as well, I wouldn't want him to get stale behind the plate. Yeah, I was thinking, like, not 82 and 82, but, like, 90 games catching for Quero, 70 games catching for Teel, then, like, maybe 20, 25 days of DHing for Teel, and then that's around 95. So then maybe like 35-ish games, 40-ish games in left field, first base. I'm not saying like it needs to change drastically where every single lineup has to have Kyle Teel in left field and Edgar Quero and catcher, right? If Quero's getting a blow and Teel's the catcher, that's fine. But I think you need to expand your horizons where these two aren't catcher DH. They need to have some ability to relieve and expand to, again, I think Teel playing first or left field.
Yeah, I almost look at it more like at bats. Like next year, all health considered, I want Kyle Teel to get at least 400 at bats. Edgar Quero, you could probably convince me that, if he only got 300-ish at bats, that's probably more in line. But you just want to figure out how you get that exposure to those at bats, because again, you want to find out what you have from Edgar Quero, and also you want to perhaps get Edgar Quero into a position much like Danny Jansen, in my opinion, where there was like really great buzz about him a couple years ago, like on the trade market, that I think kind of maybe overhyped what his actual production and value was on a team. And for the White Sox, you kind of want that with Edgar Quero too. If you decide to move on from him, you want that value to be as high as possible.
Yeah, and then when Quero got called up, obviously it was April 17th. Teel got called up on June 6th. from Quero's debut to the 6th, he got 137 plate appearances, and he got around, 403 plate appearances total. Teel got 297, so that, month and a half there is the vast difference, but even then, Michael A. Taylor, 325 plate appearances, where's that going to go? It should go to Kyle Teel. Do I need to see 544 plate appearances from Lenyn Sosa? No, I'd rather see more Kyle Teel. Do I need to see 470 plate appearances from Andrew Benintendi? No, ooh, I'd rather see more Kyle Teel. Let's take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. Oh, that was too quick. A little too quick there on the pot. I was
getting the timer ready. I was getting the time. I'm ready. Hey, I got a great idea.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Let's take a break on the CHGO White Sox podcast.
We want to let you know about our friends over at Bet365. The place to be betting football is Bet365. Whether it's college or NFL, Bet365 is the place to be. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with our friends over at Bet365. New customers sign up with code CHGO365 when you bet $5. Whether that bet wins or loses, you get $200 in bonus bets to bet on player props, spreads, futures, whatever your heart desires. And they have a great offer for Thursday. You get a $10 safety net bet on a same-game parlay. Lamar Jackson's back. Return not only to the game, but return to Miami, his hometown. Miami hasn't been that good. Baltimore's defense looked pretty good. I don't know. I'd take Miami under total points over Derrick Henry longest rush and maybe Ravens second half spread. I don't know. That's just me. And it's a safety net bet, so just do whatever you want. Head over to Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with our friends over at Bet365. Bet $5, win or lose. You get $200 in bonus bets. Must be 21 plus if you or someone who has a gambling problem. Crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in-app only. And I have so much regret right now. Not because I was recently walking down the aisles of Target and I perused and found my Mando and bought the Mount Fuji scent, but it's because I had pictures. I had a show and tell to bring. It was a whole story. I was looking down the men's deodorant aisle and I saw all of the lovely Mando scents besides Clover Woods, and I saw one face down in the back. I saw the orange cap and I was like, maybe, just maybe, it's Clover Woods. It wasn't. It was Mount Fuji, which is not a bad thing. It's just great that there's so many options. I love the Pro Sport smell. I love the Mount Fuji smell. I love the Cloverwood smell. And the best part about Mando, it keeps me fresh for over 12 hours. It reduces both sweat and odor for 72 hours. After just 12 hours, underarm sweat was reduced by 92%. This stuff works. It is my deodorant. Check them out at shopmando.com. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. Get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code CHGO at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide and free shipping. Shop Mando. Say hello to long-lasting freshness, and say goodbye to sweat stains. And hey, Joey, I understand you're wrapping me up. We're not on Fast Channel, okay? I could talk for 100 minutes if I wanted to about how much I love Mando, okay?
We always provide them the option of Fast Channel, whether they would like to utilize Fast Channel or not. So we have to be prepared for fast at all times.
You're my friend today. You're not. I'm just going to be honest with you. You putting Andrew Vaughn on the thumbnail, it's very sneakily you telling me what is and isn't Fast Channel, okay? What do you think you're producing? You think? At
least I wore Mando.
Job,
at least I wore Mando today, so I smell fresh.
Appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Psyshox Anthony, Chris N, Edward, Fat Hipster, appreciate you. Ashley as well. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. The White Sox show will be growing. You see the Blackhawks hope. You see the Bulls having hope. They're 4-0. The White Sox time will come around. The Cubs just made the playoffs. Bears might win 9 games. Sox are next. Okay? Be patient, folks. Let's get into the report cards. Let's talk about Kyle Teel, because I'm very excited about Kyle Teel, if you couldn't tell. The grades are in. Kyle Teel's offensive grade is somehow an A+. You might think I'm crazy. And honestly, I thought I was crazy. I had his offense as an A-. And then I had his offense as an A. And then I actually looked into the numbers. And really, why in the hell, if I'm giving Colson Montgomery, I guess an A-, but he did have some, walk issues, why the hell would I give Kyle Teel anything but? Kyle Teel had a 121 OPS plus in 78 games. He had 69 hits, 19 of them were either a double, triple, or homer. He had 37 walks and 77 strikeouts. He had a 375 on base percentage. That's what Andrew Benintendi was supposed to come in here and do. Benintendi was supposed to have a 375 on base percentage. And it's just like, again, like I looked at those numbers and I thought A-. That's what I wanted the kid to do. But really, if Kyle Teel is my catcher, putting up a 120 OPS plus, is there anything to really pick at? Because since 2021, this is non-rookies, just catchers. He is one of 27 catchers since 2021 with a 125 weighted runs created plus, minimum of 250 plate appearances. But not so fast. He's a rookie. Let's get some clarification. This won't include Mike Piazza because Mike Piazza's rookie season was in 1993. This is from the wild card year, 1995, to now. Catchers who played at least 75 games, or 75% of their games at the catcher position, and had at least 250 plate appearances, and had a 120 OPS plus in their rookie year. Since 1995, the catchers are Wilson Contreras, Adley Rutschman, Kyle Teel, Drake Baldwin. I understand Wilson Contreras has had his hems and haws and is no longer a catcher, but he's still a major leaguer. Adley Rutschman, I understand he had a really bad year in 2025, but if the White Sox traded for him in the past offseason before 2025, would you have been upset? No. He was a possible MVP candidate for several years. And then there's Drake Baldwin and Kyle Teel in 2025. Now, Baldwin surprised me. Can't lie. Baldwin, I thought, was going to be I thought it was Sean Murphy's job. Sean Murphy got hurt. Like, Baldwin came kind of out of nowhere. Teel, though, 78 games, had like a Wilson Contreras-esque 2016. That's pretty damn good.
Well, Drake Baldwin is probably going to be top 3, if not win Rookie of the Year.
Right, for the
in the National League.
Yeah, and then, Kurtz will be the winner in the AL. Wilson not too far behind him. I think Colson should be third in that voting. And then, honestly, if you had a top 5, Teel should be 4 or 5. Teel was a top 5 AL rookie this year, and he played less than 80 games. If you gave him a full year, if you gave Colson a full year, I think both of them get to 20 homers, or at least Teal's hitting 30 doubles, 20 homers. Not too bad from your catcher position. I loved what I saw from him. He really had one swing flaw that I felt stuck out, and I just remember DJ saying, once he shortens up that leg kick and that tap to get to fastballs, he'll be good to go. And it was about 2 games later where he made that adjustment, and it's like, all right, well, what else is going to happen? And just keep watching. It's like, all right, well, yeah, when is he going to get bad? Okay, all right, Kyle Teel, when are you going to disappoint? Okay, all right. Oh, the season's over. Okay, you're just amazing. Great, awesome. I didn't expect this. It's a little bit of the Colson factor. There has to be some floor that's going to fall out, but if Kyle Teel does this in 2026, offensively, I will have no complaints. I am extremely, extremely happy with what he did at the catcher position offensively. 12.5% walk rate, 25%, 26% K rate. It's pretty much exactly what he did in AAA before he got called up. 14.1% walk rate, 25.4% K rate. It's just very impressive that the level change really did nothing to him. Did not phase him. He was ready for it. And it felt like he was ready for it in AAA along with Quero. And they were like, well, we're going to give Quero the shot before Teel does. And that seemed to just piss Teel off. So it is healthy competition. I just think that the stronger will eat the weaker. And I think this is the kid you build around. I think this is the kid you give the extension to. There's no real flaws in his game. And again, like the one flaw that we can look at is defensively. Joey, if you want to flash the report card, I end up giving him I think it's a C defensively. Nothing too terrible, right? Like there was times where he looked pretty decent. There was times where he looked pretty iffy. I thought he called a pretty decent game. His blocks above average per StatCast, pretty bad, -7. His called strikes above average, -2, not that great. His pop times around 50th percentile. His framings around 50th percentile.
His facial expressions, though, behind the plate.
Facial expressions,
positive,
fantastic.
positive,
Complete
percentile.
goofball. seems to have like a real catcher vibe. You know, the whole thing that people loved about AJ was the fact that he was just like the lightning rod, the easygoing, like kind of energetic, like guy that was always excited to be there. Like Kyle Teel is exactly that. Kyle Teel is a menace. Kyle Teel just wants to play baseball. I think he gets like really sad like a child when he has to leave the baseball field. Like, oh man,
the lights are
gotta
on.
Go home.
Oh, I can still see the ball. Come on.
Let's play 2. Come on.
Come on.
And I think the other thing, too, with blocks and caught stealing above average, like his pop time's decent. I think a lot of that will improve if he has to worry less about framing. The framing was fine. I think he called a good enough game. But if he has to worry less about framing with ABS coming in, I think that the blocks and caught stealing will become a little bit more natural to him. I really think that he's something special. Fat Hipster brings up, I saw an old clip of Jorge Posada playing second base, Fisk playing in the outfield. Joe Torre played at third base. Joe Mauer played first base. Plenty of great catchers that moved around the diamond. Craig Biggio played in center field. He also played second base. I think Teel just shows you that he's a great athlete, right? It's less about the position. That's the position that he needed to play. But I mean, in college, he played second base. He played left field. I think he played right field. Like I'm willing to give Kyle Teel a shot in another position. I'm also fine with him being the catcher. Like he's really, really athletic. And I think that the holes in his defensive game can be helped by the implementation of ABS and the fact that, you know, he's got this much of an edge offensively over Quero. That's why I'm saying if you're going to keep one, if you keep Teel.
That's the question, right? Where let's see where his offensive game can take him and how that matures and evolves, because if it gets better or goes up another level, then left field makes a ton of sense. Either way, what you get from him offensively right now is already plus in terms of catching position in Major League Baseball. Like there really aren't a lot of offensive first catchers. There's some, but when you go across the Major League like landscape and there's 32 teams, what is there, maybe like 8, 9 guys really that are plus offensively? And I just looked it up really quick. In about 3.5 months since the time he got called up, 18 games of multi-hits. So he had some games where he had some monster performances, like 3 hits, 4 hits in a game. It wasn't just like, oh, he hit 1 home run today and then K'd a couple of times. Like he had some big days at the plate for sure.
I had that stat somewhere. Hold on. Let me find that because I think I had
double check. I just did a quick like skim trying to count him.
Is the 13th rookie to play 75% of their games at shortstop while hitting 18. Colson. Teel, this was back 2 months ago. Teel with his 5th 3+ hit game this season. According to StatCast, he and Quero have combined for 11 3+ hit games this season from the catcher position, which is, you know, tied for what like AJ was doing by himself in 2006, 2008, 2009. So yes,
yeah,
that's right. Like you just, it wasn't like that was the one thing I liked about both of them was like Quero didn't have a lot of pop, but he was consistently going up there, giving you good at bats, and like when you needed him to go hit a single to the opposite side of the field, whether he was a lefty or righty, he was doing it and driving in a run. Teel too, it was like the worst he does is go 1 for 4 with a double, you know?
Right.
Like,
which is honestly,
good.
I think that's where people sometimes like kind of get lost a little bit with like, oh, this rookie is pretty good, where it's like, well, he gets 1 meatball and he smokes it for a double or a home run and goes 1 for 4, but then K's a couple of times. There was days when Kyle Teel was locked in from the jump and doing it against multiple pitchers in the same sequence of a game. I just think that was also really impressive. And frankly, it was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
That was much fun.
I wonder too, like, is there a way that is there a come down from this? Like, what is the actual effect of, oh, I really want to make it in Major League Baseball, and then the actual grind like beats you up? I know that's like not supposed to happen, but like,
kind of seems like he loves the grind though.
Well, right,
we'll
but it
see.
Seems like it's happened with White Sox before. It seems like it happened with Luis Robert or
your mean Mercedes.
Well, that.
No,
dude, what is people's obsession with your mean Mercedes?
Because he had an amazing month, and then
he was never a prospect. No one ever was like, oh, well, the future star of the White Sox is your mean Mercedes.
It's not about future star. It's about the grind of a baseball season, and the adjustments and scouting reports got to him, and he was exposed.
No, but he was never like he was always overproducing. He was never supposed to do what he did. That's really the gag. It's like, you know, Jeff Francoeur went out and lit up a Major League Baseball and was on Sports Illustrated because he was a top prospect doing what he did. right? Like Yermin Mercedes was a nobody doing what he did. And he just very quickly cradled to what you'd expect from a Yermin Mercedes. Like he was never a top 30 prospect even in their own system.
So you're talking about Gordon Beckham then?
Gordon was a first-round pick.
Well, now I'm saying,
but like
a guy who was a highly touted prospect that had a good year, and as the years went on, the production did decline because of the grind of a long season.
Oh, so yeah. No,
I'm trying to fit to your thing.
Teal's possibility could be like a Beckham. Sure. I'm sorry. I'm just went on a rant about Yermin Mercedes for no reason. Like Yermin Mercedes was in the national system, the Baltimore system. I don't even remember how he ends up in the White Sox system, but he's a 24-year-old that was in Double-A and then went to Winston-Salem when he was 25. Like Yermin Mercedes, like one of the worst things to ever happen. Let's take the temperature on Yermin Mercedes. He stinks. All right. We'll take the temperature after the break. We're going to take a break here on CHGO White Sox podcast. We will give Edgar Quero his Graves. If you have any thoughts, let us know in the chat. I think I said Graves. We want to let you know about our great friends here at CHGO over at Ray Auto Chevy. We've got deals sweeter than candies this Halloween at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake. Come in today to shop the No Tricks, Just Treats sales event and drive home with 0% financing, $0 down with no payments until 2026, and 0 hidden fees on select new Chevrolet models, or check out their selection of over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories, you'll be sure to find the perfect vehicle for you. And with one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, they're able to keep their prices competitive. And with Ray's Price Promise, the price you see is the price you get. So you know you're going to get a competitive price. You know you won't have to haggle. It's all about buying a car with the friendly people over at Ray Chevy. They will help you get into the right car. Check out their No Tricks, Just Treat sales event going on all month long for 0% financing, $0 down with no payments until 2026, and 0 hidden fees on select new Chevy models. Shop Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Game Time. The Bulls are 4-0. The Blackhawks just scored 7 goals against Ottawa. The Bears are in Cincinnati.
Are definitely playing this Sunday.
They're definitely playing this Sunday, whatever the experience it is. Concert, stand-up event. What is a stand-up show? A stand-up show.
Stand-up concert? Yeah, it's this. Stand-up event?
Stand-up
no.
set? Whatever.
Yeah.
Or a play.
Headlining set.
Check out Game Time. Game Time gives the advantage back to fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can get 110% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. And the best part, too, the closer you get to Game Time, the prices actually go down. It was the hack to use during the White Sox season. You could get tickets for about $3. And, hey, I think the UC was like 15,000 people for the last Blackhawk game. It is a great deal right now to be a Blackhawk fan. Go check out a game at the UC and save $20 with CHGO. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL, NFL, NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. Back here on the CHGO White Sox podcast, let's talk about Edgar Quero. Joey, real quick, just on Teel too. Against the four-seam fastball, 338 batting average, 471 on base percentage, 525 slugging. Do I need to say more? Like I talked about how Colson Montgomery's whiff rate was 25%, and I wasn't too worried about him against four-seam fastball, but his like batting average was like 118. Kyle Teel, 338. 338 batting average, good, Joe?
Let me check. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Got a decent amount of whiffs against secondary pitches, but you're mainly seeing fastballs. And if you could hit fastballs at a 338 average, I'm pretty happy with you. So, yeah, let's give that kid an A+ because he deserves it. Let's take the temp with our friends over at Four Seasons. Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric are your local trusted experts. Call 1-800 or 866-4-SEASONS. Whether it's an emergency during the holidays, during the weekends, whatever, they will never charge you more for holiday weekend service. Go take the temperature with our friends over at Four Seasons. FourSeasonsHeatingCooling.com for all their money-saving coupons. Let's take the temperature of Edgar Quero's 2025 season with his report card. Again, congratulations to Kyle Teel. A round of applause. He wasn't the best catcher in Major League Baseball, which is how you get like an A+. He was one of the better hitting catchers, so we'll give him an A+ in offense. Quero a little bit different. B- offense, C- defense. Overall, a C+. TS 1964 brings up that Teel had a 1.9 WAR. I believe that's B WAR. Quero 1.2 B WAR, and there is the issue that Quero had about 150-ish more plate appearances than Teel. And while the numbers aren't bad, 94 OPS plus for a non-power hitter is pretty decent for a pretty important defensive position, right? I'm not against a 268 batting average, a 333 on base percentage. You want to see the slugging increase a little bit, but with Quero, it's a different story than Mydroth. Mydroth barely swings a fast bat, or barely hits the ball hard, barely has a decent average exit velocity. Quero's average exit velocity, 59th percentile, so a little bit above average. Hard hit percentage, 66%, so a little bit, different way or a different stratosphere than Mydroth. So it's not the same issue as Chase, right? He has definitely a profile that played out a little bit better. And even in clutch situations, again, like Quero had no issue going to the opposite side. If he was batting righty, he could shoot it to the second base gap and drive in a run. If he was batting lefty, he could shoot it into the shortstop gap and drive in a run. He was really decent as a left-handed hitter, one of the best in Major League Baseball. 357 batting average, 394 on base percentage, 457 slugging percentage. Right hand didn't have the same success, had more pop. 4 homers came from the right side, 7 doubles from the right side as well. But 220 average, 301 on base percentage, 301 slugging percentage. Really didn't say like, hey, I should be playing every single day offensively. So there were moments where you could say this player is very good, but definitely some adjustments that need to be made. Need to be more dangerous on the right-hand side, need to be better on the left-hand side. He's poor against right-handed pitchers. Need to be better against righties. He was good against lefties. There we go. Thank you for my TED Talk.
Classic question. Classic sports question. Do you think he can survive as a pinch hitter, or do you think it would maybe help him out if he were just to concentrate on hitting from one side of the plate?
No, I mean, I think it's not too negative to see, or not too far off to see, like pop more from one side and more contact from another side. I think the one thing that I would need to figure out is when he was like, if he whiffs more, because that's the one thing that I did like from Quero, was that I think from the left-handed side, he does not whiff at all, to where the right-handed side, I wonder if he whiffs a little bit more. Sorry, I'm pulling up the pitchers that he faced against and not the hitters. Quero, as a righty, had a 17% whiff rate. As a lefty, he had a 22.8% whiff rate.
That's a bit of a difference.
5% difference, and again, like
that
could talk about the power, right? Like from the left side, he is hitting for more pop. I don't know what the ISO, I guess, would be. 301 minus 220, so around 0.08. From the left side, it's a 1. So yeah.
I guess the long short of it maybe is,
I mean, he had 11
side,
extra base hits from the right side, and then 11 from the right side. So I'm really confusing people. From the left side, he had 11 extra base hits. From the right side, he had 11, but it's in a lot less at bats. So I think there's a path there, but I guess that's like why I want to see Teel play a different position, because I want to see Quero not be benched against righties. Yes, not be benched against lefties. Sorry, as a right-handed batter. No, I don't know how to read platoon splits right now. This is embarrassing. Versus right-handed pitchers as a left-handed batter, 220. So you would not to have him not play as a left-handed batter,
unless he can get more, unless he can generate more power, which it seems like that's what his swing angle is already at. If he can generate more power, I think for him, it's like when you talk about switch hitters, it's about trying to create that dynamic, versatile value.
Well,
right?
and that's the thing, at least that I saw, or at least with that point with the whiff rates, like 22 and 17 survivable. Like, I mean, that's not bad, and that's the thing that he does well is he fights off pitches. I don't know if I love the contact rate from the. God, now I'm screwing with myself. Now I don't trust myself. I don't know if I love the contact rate from the left side, but I mean the whiff rate is not too crazy where it's 22%. Yeah, I don't think like you're abandoning him because he's also 22. Blank name says Quero will hit for more power in year 2. He has a history of increasing the power the next year at each level. It's also because he's a baby. I mean, he's not even 23. Like he'll take until he's like 24 or 25 to even be like the full grown strength that he'll be. I mean, primes of men historically in the athletic field is like 27 to 31. I think that's moved up a little bit with the increasing of science, but still like the prime, the most strongest and healthiest you'll be is like 25 to 29. So, I mean, he's still got years before he's even at that threshold. So like what he's doing right now, there's a lot to work with where I'm not saying it's bad enough where you have to just abandon being a switch hitter.
Yeah, 2 points. One, obviously, when you come up when you're a rookie, too, as well, I think you're just trying to keep your head above water. So maybe he wasn't able to. I think he actually has a really good sense of the zone for the most part. Mm-hmm. And if he maybe in his second and third year gets a little bit more of that seasoning, he can start maybe hunting a little bit more, and that's when you get more into launch angle, get more into a little bit more power. And then my second point is, want to hear a great band name? Prime of Man. Back to you.
Prime of Man. Ooh.
What are you seeing tonight?
That's pretty good.
I'm seeing Prime of Man.
Prime of Man. Right. Let's get into Quero's defensive stats. I think I gave him a C-. Yes. We gave him a C- for his defense. When you look at blocks above average, 45th percentile, caught stealing above average, 16th percentile, framing 1 percentile, and then pop time 51 percentile. They're similar when it comes to pop time for these catchers. They're nothing great shakes. They're nothing above average. They're around the median. The blocks above average for Quero is really good, but he was the worst framing catcher in Major League Baseball, which is why I think like ABS is going to help him too. Like taking that out of his game, he had 5 pickoffs, I think, on non-stolen base attempts. So like he's got a cannon to be behind the plate. Like I'm not saying abandon ye all hope who enter here for Edgar Quero. It's just more, can these two players actually survive with having the same primary position? If you had 2 third basemen that were, above average, you wouldn't keep 2 of them. You'd trade them. I just think you should probably trade one of these guys because I think there's a bright future for Quero. I think there's a bright future for Teel. I think Teel has the upper edge. And I think at the end of the day, like, I'll bet on the better athlete, the taller person also. Like, just seems like Teel is built for Major League Baseball, where Quero, if he grows older, gets stronger, will his frame be able to carry that necessarily? Will he get slower? Will he decrease his hand-eye coordination? I think if they want to say Quero's our catcher full-time, great, but I'd like to see Teel pick up a different glove then in 2026. It's a good problem to have. I'm not against it. And I think overall, what would we give him? B- for Quero? I think we gave him a B- or C+. C+. I think part of it too is, you saw the 150 more plate appearances. Teel exceeded expectations where Quero was right around expectations. And I gave him a plus just because he's got a good smile. He's a happy guy. It's easy to root for. Like, these guys brought me joy, and that was really tough to do in a White Sox uniform. So it's like I don't want these guys to be, well,
just like
I want them to succeed. I want Quero to be good.
If you can pull it back to as well, just think of it from a broad angle of when a lot of these trades started coming down the pipe, and Quero's was one of the first trades that came down, and you're like, all right, they got a catcher. Let's see if it works out. Like all prospects, it could be a 50-50 proposition. And then they bring in Teel, and they're like, man, really loading up on catchers, aren't we now? What's the plan? Maybe they're just trying to throw some darts at the wall. Maybe one of them will hit and be the catcher of the future.
Yeah,
the cool news is, to this point right now, we don't know where it goes or where it leads, but both of these guys came up last year, produced, stayed up at the major league level, put together really respectable stat lines across the board. And to this point, they've both have kind of worked out. Whether they work out for the long haul, we're going to find out. But I mean, it's kind of nice when you kind of reflect back on them acquiring all these catchers, and now they're up there, and now we're talking. Now you're doing segments on like, can we split time with them, or does one of them have to move a position because the other one can be a starter? They possibly have 2 starting catchers on their team. It's a cool place to be for a Sox fan.
And I'm really tapping into my like excitement for Teel. Like, it's not that I'm not excited for Quero. I just think he's better than him. And what we saw from Colson and Teel, man, there's something Luis about Robert Jr., Eloy Jimenez all over again. And I just hope these 2 effers work.
There's something about Teel that, like, also, and maybe this is an intangible and this is just a gut feeling, he seems like he's got a little bit of, like, future captain starter kit going.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And that gives you even more of
optimism.
optimism.
That's why I brought up AJ. Like, like, the
he's
guy
got the starter kit of the dude that kind of, like, ties everybody together and rallies around, and he's the dude that, there's something to him. There's
maybe
something to
AJ
him.
wanted to be a star, and that was part of it, but it's not even that, like, Teel wants to be a star. He just is like, let's go. Let's just talk.
Let's play baseball all day.
Why are you guys worried? Like, it's, he didn't need media training. He was already trained. Like, he must just have, like, some chatty-ass parents.
And he loves chess, I guess, right?
Yeah, right. That's going to wrap it up for the CHGO White Sox podcast. One more final time, because we cannot stress the importance of this. This will be in the YouTube description. This will be in the podcast description. We're flashing it on the screen right now. Maybe you have your phone next to you and you're watching this on your laptop. Scan that QR code. It will take you to myfooddrives.org/team/782427, which will lead you to the Southside Food Drive. The White Sox fans and friends are trying to donate all through November as much money as we possibly can. The current goal is $3,500, and that wasn't high enough. Okay, we're already at $3,325. If you donated already, thank you so much. Jake Flanagan donated, so we got a CHGO donation. Let's go, Jake.
We got one.
So yeah, we're getting closer and closer to that goal. And if we can put up a crooked number, like Joey said, don't stop now. Let's really support the people in need in our community. Again, 1-5 Chicago households are experiencing food insecurity, and 1 in 4 houses with children are experiencing food insecurity in Chicago. So $1 equals 3 meals. We are very excited for the month of November to be doing this, and I'll make sure that we, I'll make it. We'll see where we are near the end of November, and we'll try to make like a big push there. I'm saving my money, not that sounds terrible. You donate your money, but I'm saving
a little monarch money.
I'll wait and let's see.
Not my money.
Let's see what we can do at the end and see if we can push it over the edge, right? So if you feel like donating now, and maybe now's an easier time for you to donate, feel free to donate, and we'll see how crooked of a number we can make that. Thank you to everyone for hanging out with us. We're going to wrap the CHGO White Sox podcast. Again, check out myfooddrives.org/team/78427. Link is in the chat. It's in the description of both the YouTube show and the podcast. Thank you to All Sports Scene for setting that up. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.